I forgot something. I think I forgot something here in this stream. Probably, is it possible to edit? Yes. Let me get everything set up and let maybe some more folks come in. We'll see. Yeah. I don't know if I should, maybe some more. And one more. Creativity. Oh, my stomach, it's making sound. I'm actually really hungry. I think that should be it. Save. And just take up some local weather report, because I like to share this with you guys about the weather report as I normally do. I'm not sure if you can hear the sound. Yeah, close this one. So, hello guys, welcome to the weekly Friday episode of INFP with Tom. I am the host, Joe, and local time is 7:34. Very bright when I look out, but I will have to take this later. Local time, yeah, 7:34, and the weather, local weather, is only 14 degrees Celsius, 58 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's raining. Like, yeah, it's raining so much. His humidity is 98%. It kind of doesn't make any sense. But I did have to use the dehumidifier this today actually, because it was I think on Wednesday. Yeah, on Wednesday I went out in the rain after work. I just put on my running clothes and I just walked to the park through the rain. It was pouring. I was getting so sunken wet, and people was just watching me like, why are you walking out here dressed like this? And everybody had their umbrella, dressed up very warm. And I had an interesting week. I've had a little bit some realizations this week. I'm changing a few things, and I just went there to the park, ran not much at all because there was too much. The ground was too wet, so it was just splashing all the time, and it was not pleasant to run. So I just ran one loop around the park, and I just ran on home also. But I was out for maybe 30-40 minutes anyway. So that made it feels good, you know, when you come in. Everything was just soaking wet, really, really much. And it's been pretty much like this the whole week. And it says it's going to be some lightings, thunder and lightings today and tomorrow. Because tomorrow, when I look at the weather report, it's gonna be like this the whole coming week. But who knows? It can change, you know. It can really change. But anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. We have today some topics that I went, because now when it's more open up here, it's actually very nice to go out to go to a cafe like I did like 2 times this week after work. Just go out, bring my book, bring notebook, which I have here, and yeah, just write different thoughts I have, um, business related, uh, myself related, about what I am going through or whatnot, and making plan for this video. And I have to say that I am a bit, if I do appear a bit slow, it's because my mind is feeling a little bit, I mean, tired, I guess. But I feel also very balanced. But I have been really tired this week. I mean, during the lunch breaks, normally I go out. Maybe it's the weather actually, because normally I go out at least several times per week during lunch break and just walk and don't really have any lunch. But this week I have just crashed on my bed every lunch break. After lunch, I just lay down. But I've been sleeping very well. I try. I have started to listen to a lot of. I don't know how to pronounce them, but it's Indian traditional music, and it's just so good. I know one artist. Her name is Anusha Shakar, I think it's called. She is called, but I know her from before. But this is not the one I've really been listening to now. The one I've been listening to now is just on Spotify. Different kind of traditional Indian music with that instrument. What is it called? That instrument? To the big guitar. That Anusha Shakar. Let me find what it's called. Anushka Shakar. She's very, very interesting woman, I think. Very beautiful woman. British Indian. Sitar, that's what it's called, right? Sitar player. Oh, really? Nora Jones, is that her half sister? And here is the guy and the daughter of Ravi, because Ravi, I have Pandit Ravi Shankar. He's the one I've been listening to a bit. And I listen to this when I go to bed, and I feel so comfortable and in peace to just fall into deep sleep. And I've been dreaming a lot. Maybe it's the music, I don't know. I've just been feeling very, very at peace and fine with everything, how everything is, and whatever is, and accepting how everything is. Like, even if things is really, really hard at times, you know, decisions that you made, even if maybe you don't want to take them, and you just like accept, like, this is what life is. So I've been listening a lot to that, been feeling really, really nice. But I am also feeling a little bit stressed after this week. So Ravi Shankar is actually the father of Nora Jones and Anusha Shankar. I mean, I missed so much that I didn't go and watch Nora Jones in Lisbon 2018. I really miss I didn't do that. That's so bad. But other than that, what have I been working on? I've been working obviously on my daytime job, and I've been working on the startup that I'm in, on the website there. The website is coming to I can say it's finished for release, but it's also I mean, it's like a living document. You have to develop it constantly and make changes here and there, and I have to make the website in different languages as well, which is extremely time consuming and hard work. And then there's basically one chapter that I have to write as well. and then I'm ready with one thing that I will release for you later. And since my energy is a little bit low, uh, like because I'm hungry and I'm gonna have a quiet night. I'm gonna watch a movie, and I just went shopping, and I'm gonna eat something good and not worry too much about anything. But anyway, I wanted to bring up the topic of procrastination. So let's get into that, because I didn't plan to make this super long, but I want to do it because I really think it's so interesting with procrastination. I'm telling you, procrastination been a topic in my life maybe like since the 20s or something. And I don't consider procrastination personally as a really big issue for me. It's been an issue at times in the sense that I mentioned it before, working on different projects, and you're jumping between them because you don't feel you have the motivation at the moment to do it. Like, okay, now I feel like there's always that thing, okay, I have to feel like I will be motivated to work on this project, but I don't feel motivated now. Therefore, the procrastination comes in. And I think that's something, in the end, you just have to make a decision, And I don't know, I came to I wrote here, that's not really related to procrastination. Having come to some conclusions recently. Yeah, I come to some conclusions, and one of them is a topic by itself, but I'm gonna briefly touch on it, and it's completely different. But how shallow we are as human beings. We just look at each other and we judge each other from the little surface that we see. And there's so many people that are forced, and me too as well to some degree, forced to fit in with the different kind of labels and dress codes, tastes, whatnot, what you like and what you not like, political correctness, to belong to the group, all these things. But when you are alone, I think you start to see through a lot of those things. I mean, that's one great thing about handling to be alone, that you start to realize your true values about who you are, and you don't care what anybody think of you in the end. And for me, for example, like when it comes to clothes, when I think back on myself, I have had different phases when I grew up, like different styles, like trying different identities, I guess you could say. And I think a lot of people do that. I know a lot of people do that. Just look how some people look. They dress like gothic or something like that. Just an example. And maybe 5 years from now, they are not going to be like that at all. And that's, I know a lot of young people do that. And I did also to some degree. I mean, when I was younger, I had more of a skate style. And I still like that. I mean, absolutely. I would still consider to have some skate brands, and I still do have. So maybe that's a little bit part of my identity still, I guess. But now when I see, for instance, here in Porto, maybe a lot of other places, but like almost, this is not really, but I see almost every girl, and that's not everyone. I mean, but I see 1, 2, 3 out of 10 with Dr. Martin shoes. And I just feel, before I thought it was nice, really nice shoes, because I think my brother had that when he was younger, and I always thought it was cool. I would consider it myself, and I still do a little bit. But now it's more like, no way. I just see these kind of hipster styles. It's a hipster style, I think. And I think there's nothing more ridiculous to wanna be a hipster. Okay, I'm gonna buy these things because I wanna be a hipster. And that's like, why do you want to be a hipster? I think it's so silly. And you just see them walking around there with their little Dr. Martens, and they don't know the history of it. It's actually, um, absolutely, it is a dress code of former skinheads and Nazis. And all these girls that wearing the, or guys walking around there now, they are these leftists, coloring their hair all these pride colors or whatnot, and they are always this political correct. Or there's nothing wrong. They can have everybody can have an opinion and everybody can have a view. I am just thinking that a lot of these people, they don't know the history actually, and they're walking on those in those shoes. But I know that it's a marketing thing, and they're changing the brand to something new, and I guess that is a good thing. But this is not only about this shoe brand. It's about a lot of things. And I mean, for me, for example, somebody could judge me, for example, for wearing some other brand, and that's okay. But what I want to have said is that I just started to see through, and I don't care anymore too much. I walk with broken clothes, like, yeah, here is a little hole that I made myself because the neck was too tight. It was sitting really like this. I don't like that. And if it's got a hole, whatever, I don't care. I really don't care anymore walking around in broken clothes. People probably think that I am really poor, and those things just don't really bother anymore. It really doesn't matter anything anymore. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of things matter, like trying to make an effort to make something positive in the world for other people matters a lot. But when it doesn't matter, like you have to have this car, you gotta have this and that to put on a surface. All these religions, all they claiming like what is right, all these political powers try to claim what is right. It's like it's a big theater in the end of the day. I don't know. Anyway, let's get back to procrastination. So, yeah, I brought that up. Jumping between different things is make you procrastinate. When you jump between different kind of topics, it's of course you have to really set your mind to it. What is actually you are gonna focus on, so you don't. Oh, I don't feel right about this right now. I'm gonna not do that now. I mean, starting is hard. It feels tough. Doesn't matter what it is. When you see how far you have to go with a project, and you're just starting out. Me, for example, I read a lot about publishing, and I realize how super hard it is with publishing. It makes you kind of depressed when you read about it. But then again, I ask myself, is this really the reason why I think it's interesting with the literature or stories or whatnot? Is that the reason, if it's hard with publishing, is that a reason why I'm into this? And the answer is no, absolutely not. And is that with everything? You cannot just, like, what should I say? It's not about success. I mean, to some degree, maybe it is a little bit about success. I mean, if you made something, you want some kind of recognition, reward, appreciation for something. I think that is a human's natural. There's nothing wrong with that. So, but that doesn't come overnight. It rarely does. So Yeah, that's just sometimes it's difficult when you're starting off with something and you realize how long way it is to go, but then it may cause you to procrastinate. But I don't think that bullet point is necessarily something that I troubled with anymore, because I mean it was young when I was younger. It was a big part of my life. I actually ended up in a really bad kind of a part of my depression some years ago was actually a little bit related to that. Just seeing things that I wished to accomplish, and I realized I had not even started, and I saw what other people had accomplished. It's a little bit that kind of comparison complex, which is not healthy for an INFP. Just set your mind to and focus on what makes you happy and what you want to contribute. And if it gets appreciation, or if it doesn't get anything or whatever, I mean, sure, that's the case. You just move on, but don't go in for something expecting it's gonna happen just overnight, because that's not how the world works. It doesn't matter whether you are a doctor or you are a mechanic, you are, it doesn't matter. You are a snowboard. You're riding snowboard, doing snowboard. I don't know how to say that, but you cannot become like a world champion right away. You do it because it's fun. That's what it really gets down to. Um, so the every little bit of work you do every day towards you setting up a goal, every little straw you draw, every little piece that you make in the long run is gonna matter. Even if it's so difficult to see it, it's like with investing as well. It's the same principle a little bit. You invest in money a little bit all the time for a long period of time, builds up, hopefully with a good return. And it's the same with yourself and what you think is fun. You invest yourself into doing this craft, and little by little it builds up. What's that sound? Maybe from upstairs. But little by little, you are becoming or building up this craft that you wanted so bad, but you realized, oh, it's so hard because it's so long way to walk, it's so long way to go. So that caused you to procrastinate. But there is no reason for that procrastination, because think about time, the concept of time, and we can have a lot of different philosophical views what time really is. But the time for me in this sense, where I'm talking about now, is linear. That you have, like, I don't know, calculate your life as this long as a metaphor or analogy, and maybe you have this much left, or maybe you have that, maybe it's like this. Who knows? It's all about what every little piece you put in. So there's no way to just think, oh, it's so long, it's so hard because it's gonna take so long to get there. I can start tomorrow, or doesn't matter. Just starting now is the best time. And in this aspect, I am no guru in this either. Of course, there are days when I don't feel to write there. I'm just thinking what I should write about or whatnot. It's extremely hard, and that goes with everything. Um, it goes with life and jobs as well. I mean, for example, if you are a little bit older, I mean, if you would be like in your, let's say, if you are in your 40s or 50s, and you have been working like every your whole life, you have been working as, yeah, let's take a truck driver for example, and suddenly the market change. There are self-driving trucks. You are wiped out, and okay, you go to the job agency and sitting there. And what have you been doing? "Oh, I've just been a truck driver all my life, and there are no more jobs for it." Of course, it's gonna be extremely difficult to relearn like a computer skill. It's most likely is I should not say that it's not gonna happen, but it's very likely that it's not going to go very well to learn that skill, because they're coming up. The technology, as I notice when I'm working with it, it goes so rapidly fast, and also with the artificial intelligence, it's building up faster and it changes faster than my mind have any capability to keep up with, actually. To take in, because in the end it's too much information, so you are, yeah, you basically you're going to go crazy if you're gonna keep up with it, because it's absolutely not possible. um, so that's, in that way, it's like a sad also. It's very hard. Why I bring this up is because I'm meaning that we are moving in such a fast speed, and in starting as soon as you can with something that you think is fun, believe in, is only gonna do you good. It's only gonna be good for you, and thinking carefully about what it is that you do. But that is not the most important thing. The most important thing is that you believe, you have your internal voice, your gut feeling that you have to do this. Because what is the point of just keep doing something that somebody else wants you to do? That is not how I've lived my life, at least. It's so strange. Sometimes I hear this girl upstairs, not very loud, but I hear she's doing something like dropping stuff or whatever. And for long periods I don't hear her at all. So I don't know what's up there. But yeah, that with the evolution and the technology that I'm working with is very interesting, but it's getting more and more automated. So imagine to work like I don't know when he said, is Elon Musk said within 10 years we're gonna have at least self-driving trucks. I don't know if I'm, don't quote me on that, but it's not surprising if it would be. So imagine if I would today like, now I'm gonna educate myself to a truck driver, and that's just an example. I mean, there are many other jobs where artificial intelligence becomes smarter to do the jobs. And then what is the point then of like starting investing yourself along the field of that? Now I'm just thinking a little bit haywire, a little bit broad. I don't know what I was talking about earlier about the procrastination part. That is so difficult actually to have that like mindset that you're gonna, there's a day tomorrow as well. I see how far it is to go. I see all these other people, they have come so far, but I have so long to go, so I can start tomorrow. But sure, you can, but everything is developing. There's an ongoing evolution all the time. So by starting sooner, the better. Just like investment. Um, okay. Yeah. It's really, really scary. I mean, I think about how fast it's actually going with evolution. Like probably a lot of jobs, like mine probably as well, is not gonna exist forever as well. I can't even imagine. There's no way it's going to. There's no way. What is the solution then for these people? You invested yourself to become a factory worker, or you invested yourself becoming a like a doctor, and they're gonna be doctor robots can doing the more precise, not put any moral conclusions to surgeries. They can be completely logic based. What about educating yourself to a truck driver? There's gonna be absolutely some kind of new revolution where this system, the power of this artificial intelligence system, or the power of that force, is going to kind of come like a big wave and just take over, be implemented. Maybe there's gonna be some kind of device that everybody can take part of, and it's a very flexible device that can be used in so many different fields. So if you just buy this one, invest in this one, okay, you can get rid of 80% of all your employees, or you can, in this field, if you are in this kind of field, you buy this device, you invest in this device, it costs a lot, but in the long run you will not need any employees. I think that's what it's going down to, because we see it all the time in different shapes and forms. It have happened so many times already throughout the history of mankind, when there have come some kind of machine. Okay, now the machine can do the manual or automated job instead of the manual job by man or woman. So now like 10 people lost their job, or 50 people at that factory lost their job. It's happening all the time. I have actually close people that have experienced that. And it has to do with a lot of things, the economy. And this is a part of economy. I mean, the evolution of the artificial intelligence. That's what it's going down to. But I'm gonna go back to that anyway. Just think about every little. There's no way of waiting, and I'm not the best to do it as well. But just getting started with. But why would you want to get started with something if you know it's a field that is going to be like, is this really worth it? It has to be something that is sustainable. That is kind of a fundamental of choice. A fundamental when you make your choice, that you want it to be a sustainable choice. Another part of procrastination that I can relate to is that thinking of what other people's opinions. Because everybody, I've touched upon this before, everybody, they will judge and base an opinion of you from the smallest little thing they see of you. And I'm thinking on social media, for example. It's something that human beings want to do. We are comfortable to know about, like, who are you, what are your intentions, what are you up to, and if they cannot do that, it's uncomfortable. So people will judge the smallest thing about what they hear from a friend, gossip, or they see something of you on social media, and then when they meet you, they will say, "Oh yeah, how are you? With I saw that with through your Facebook, blah blah blah." And that's just like a small little piece of the potential or who you are. That's why I am so selective without actually what I share there online. Except like now, I'm speaking very openly on this channel, but this is a channel for this, for that, for connection, for thoughts, for opinions, or having debates, arguments shared from me to you. But when it comes to like just uploading to normal social media, whether platform you may use, it's really, really people judge and they want to put you in a little box or whatnot. And you know that I have told you that I don't reuse social media anymore. I have, but I don't have it installed. Um, and I know that this is something maybe it's I know it's INFPs have a lot of integrity, very selective with what we share and with whom we share something. And I think that I am a little bit too much at times with my integrity, that I don't even share uh, things that I want to share that's going on in my life, or projects that I'm working on, or a piece of something that I'm working on. And I know that there are people that they can be the smallest thing. There was something I was thinking of here the other day, but I forgot. And that's something that most people wouldn't even like consider, wouldn't even overthink to not share, because most people, they are just sharing whatever online and they don't think a second thought about it. But me, I'm like always very selective. How is this gonna be perceived? And maybe that is a bit of an insecurity also, but I mainly think it's something to my integrity, that I don't want to share just about anything on a social media platform, except from on this channel. Like I just said, for those who didn't hear, here it's this platform is for this. This is exactly what it's about. Me sharing externally, expressing opinions, views. We are arguing, having arguments shared. And yeah, I know this, what I'm talking about, because I am observer, highly interested in people, educated anthropologist. So I am really, really keen and knowing what people are up to, because since a young age, I just heard how people talk. How people like to gossip and they want to know what is going bad for you, or what is this person up to, if it's something not, oh, so I heard that about this person, oh no, you know that's that little piece, part of human being, they want to hear if something goes bad for somebody, or if something goes well as well. And most of the time I don't want to be part of that, I don't want to hear that. But to some degree, gossip, it's something human. It's something that's like interesting at times as well. Yeah, so I feel like talking, I'm not used to talking this much. I'm quiet all the time. But I wrote all these points. And yeah, that part about introverted feeling, which is that you probably know, but the major function of the INFP introverted feeling, which works out as the primary function of making the decisions, feeling based, what are actually feeling the best. And it can be decisions that are not rational or logically accepted socially or culturally or from family, what they think is most logical for you. Screw all of that. Enough with that. It's none of that. For INFP, it's more interested about matching that decisions to what are your personal values. If you are basing your values, okay, you're having a promotion, you could go to this job, you could earn this much money, and you could have this kind of lifestyle. Imagine that friends and family, they are like, yeah, you have to do this now. This is what you have been working for. This is what you took your master's degree for. And back in your mind or in your gut feeling, you're thinking, no, but hey, did I actually wanted to go in this direction? Um, for example, I wanted to save up this amount of money, which I did, and then I wanted to just let that job go, and I wanted to go live a simple life and work with something else, whatever. Most people then will be like, I mean, what are you doing? You can't do this. You're not allowed. You're not parents. Imagine. No. You cannot do that. You worked up for this. Uh, now you're gonna have a higher pay. Now you have some cash you can put into real estate, or you can invest in this, and you're gonna have a down payment for that. So, and then you're gonna have a loan. That's just an example. I'm just taking something extreme, and I don't think it's anything wrong doing anything of those. I'm not saying that. But then there is this kind of, let's say that you have a personal moral value of freedom, and going in that direction, that would be like the socially or societal normal route. That will be against your personal values, and you wanted more freedom and live more simple, and having not a job with that kind of responsibility, with that promotion, and having that down payment to have the loan or whatnot. So you are going to you make a choice, a decision based on your introverted feeling, which people may not understand to any degree whatsoever. They're going to think that you are making the biggest, like the biggest failure in your life. But what does it matter when you know that you are doing something that is right for you? That is what introverted feeling is for me. It's something deeply sacred, with a lot of integrity to it. A lot of integrity to it, because people would want to know, but people won't understand. That's the thing. There will be difficult to understand it. If you would try to explain, maybe there will be. It's a little bit of what I have talked before with idealism. They would think it's idealistic, and they wouldn't understand it because it's not really societally acceptable to having idealistic moral values and making choices that are idealistic. Yeah, what can I say more about that introverted feeling? Decision based of introverted feeling, that most people don't do that. They take more logically perspectives, like what career choice can I do, earning the most, or having the most, accumulating material wealth. It's like a mode. It's such a, what can I say? Such a static and boring. Like material wealth in society is considered power. And if that's for you, I mean, sure, absolutely. I also like some material gadgets, absolutely. I am materialistic. What can I say? We are, all of us to some degree, but I understand it and I take distance from it as well as I can. Most people I wrote that perhaps don't even consider understanding a person that making a choice based on introverted feeling, because they are so drawn into the daily life of the comfort of having a payment coming in, having a debt they need to chase and pay off, and it's comfort, and maybe they become bitter for not taking any risk earlier in their life, and they become kind of hardened, later realize they should have taken a risk like this. But it also gave them a very, very good life. I'm not saying anything against that. Yeah, introverted feeling is a main function, making decision hard, but it's going to be right for you. It can be difficult because, yeah, you are raised culturally, societally wise, what is right choices. And that function for me, it just proves that INFP don't settle just for about like anything, and will not just do anything in the end unless it doesn't serve their values. It has to serve the values in the end. What they do, it has to serve the values. But it's tricky. I mean, personally, I am seeking the balance because I also appreciate that part of. I mean, there's no way that would like to be that kind of. I met people like that, and those kind of people that are completely living in the moment and just jumping between like odd jobs, let's say, and they just floating. They just float and I'm living in the moment. I'm making my life decision, what feels right for me. I'm not materialistic. That kind of. It's like a lot of people falling into that mindset, and it's difficult to place them. Here I am. I was just talking about it. How we people want to put people in boxes, and those people that they are the people that you really cannot put in another box other than drifters, like kind of. And then maybe when they get older, they maybe realize that they should have really put some kind of focus on something. But it's I respect them for what they do, those people. But I want to have some kind of degree of this kind of, and that doesn't necessarily freedom for me to be that, because I want that part of logic, rational, static part, which I have now, absolutely. But then I want the creative expressions that that I'm building up, and I having something like that to lean on. That is just for my personal way of expressing myself, because I want to do that, and it makes me feel very, very good when I am creating something for a song, for example. And just like the moment when you are creating it, when you notice that little, this is, that sounds like something there. And you pick it down and it's coming out something and it leads to something. That is like the kind of part that I really, really enjoy. Or when you are just writing and you don't realize that you write because it's already like you are writing something that is supposed to be written. It was already determined that that line was gonna be written. That is kind of something that is very meditative, but it's also difficult to get there. I mean, procrastination again. First, it's hard to start. Like, I think it's Stephen King said that the first 15 minutes, or I don't remember, 15 minutes when you start writing and it smells like a dead fish, but then it's just going, flowing. And I'm not there in any way like him. I'm not saying that. I just have some moments when it feels good to write and it's flowing. I mean, there are many different kinds of these outlets, creative outlets, when you get to a state like that. And that is something that makes me feel like I need to have that. I enjoy it. And I wish I could do it more, which is what I'm working for. But I'm not going to let something like procrastination stop me for that. But yeah, that's about that. So introverted feeling, making decisions on that, and it's very, very difficult. One example of that is, for example, some jobs that I've had or some studies I've done, and I know they are kind of good studies, for example, good class, very like profitable courses that are in a field with a lot of profit, for example. A lot of people love it and I appreciate it, but it just was that feeling in my gut that no, I don't want to be here. This is really not for me. And I think it's good with that, to don't really knowing what you want to do in life, for example, and just pick something up, start doing that, and you will notice if that feels right or if it feels like that's nothing that you want to do. So working with something, I know that I enjoy the field I am in now. Have to be in a field which is broad. Most fields are very broad, but I mean, if you are a truck driver again, then you are a truck driver. There's like not too much of a growth there that I can see, and not much as the evolution with that I was mentioning, that taking over, with self-driving trucks. So I think we're gonna keep going for another little while, but then I'm gonna wrap up because, like I said, I have some phone calls here I need to take care of, and I'm really hungry, and I want to watch a movie. And speaking of movies, what movie did I see? Yes, I saw this one. I forgot what it was called. Let me see if I can find it. It was this 90s action drama with Emilio Estevez. I like him. He's actually really good. This movie was about, okay, I can tell you what it was about before I find the name here. So there was this, he was living out with his friends. They were gonna go to baseball or a fighting game here, Judgment Night from 1993. And I love 90s movies. So there was he and let's see, three other guys, his friends. And one of them, he was this hot shot, and he was had a, like a nice RV that he could borrow from his work or his boss. So they went there and started drinking in the RV already on the way, on the highway, on the way to see the game. And there was this biggest line, so they just, yeah, the driver, the guy with the van, the RV, he just like, no, I take this side road. And they ended up in the most shady area, like, I don't know, New York, I think it was. And they were drawn into some real criminals there. That one, and the criminals wanted to, because they witnessed a criminal executing a guy that they tried to save. So yeah, those bad guys had to finish them up, and they escaped from them in this bad neighborhood. Things led to another. I mean, it was kind of a weak plot, to be honest, but it was enjoyable. It has pretty good rating anyway, 6.7 on IMDb, so it's not too bad, you know. But would I see it again? No, I would probably not see it again. And I think there was something else that I saw that I cannot really remember. Yes, yesterday I saw one, which was really, really good one, and super sad. You know, I have to admit that I can actually get sad when I watch some movies. It was the one about the 2004 tsunami in Thailand, in Indian Ocean. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but with Naomi Watts and Evan McGregor, I think his name is. And that was based on a real story, and it's such a sad but beautiful plot, you know. They are just arriving there for one night or something, and then the tsunami hits. They all get separated, except that the father, I mean, I should probably not spoil it, but it starts with that the mother and the oldest son, it's three sons. The mother and oldest son, they are surviving. They take themselves to a hospital, and the son is just starting to, the mother gets really bad. She gets worse because she's really wounded. And the son, Lucas, is trying to find his two younger brothers and the father. And yeah, it was a very touching movie, I have to say. That one I would recommend. It's called The Impossible, with Naomi Watts and Evan McGregor. So, with that said, I think I'm gonna go to prepare a meal, and then I'm gonna watch something and have a really quiet night. But you know, I noticed something from the last stream, that how terrible it sounds. The microphone here, it's in this computer, is so terrible. It's horrible. Even when I play some music before my live streams from the speaker here, it just sounds so nasty, you know. Playing the guitar is just sound nasty. Such a poor microphone, but what can you expect? I actually have a really beautiful microphone that I'm gonna show you here. I have this one. It's a Tannoy TM1 complete recording package with large diaphragm condenser microphone. So this is like, this is no shit. This is a real deal, you know. It has a pop shield, the shock mount, and yeah, cable, dust cover. And I never used it. I tried using it before, but I didn't get it to work. I mean, I don't have a sound card, but yeah, this one is really beautiful. Whatever, I don't want to open that. And yeah, if I just use that, it would probably much better sound. But for that, obviously, I need a sound card because it doesn't have it's not with USB, and but I'm probably not gonna get that in the near future now, because I just talking like this is, I think, is fine for the stream now. So at least for now, you know. But anyway, guys, it's been over 1 hour. I didn't expect, to be honest, to make this long, but I enjoy doing it as always. So I always appreciate you, you know, attending. And for those who watched, didn't, please, if you enjoyed it, I mean, like and subscribe if you would like. Up to you. And I will be back next time, you know, as always, with another live stream next Friday. On Friday night, we make this live stream, INFP with Tom. And with that said, I sign out here and I wish you a good day. Take care. Bye.